What's up, everybody? It's me, E-Man, from E-Man's Movie Reviews. Let me first and foremost say that this is going to be a little impromptu. I didn't really expect to do this video because, basically, I finally actually got access to WandaVision, the upcoming episodes. I only get like the first 3 episodes. So I hit up Disney, and Disney was like, yeah, sure, we'll send them. And I was like, oh, great, cool. Now it hasn't come yet, but it will be coming. Like I want to say, like in the next day or so. Like today's Tuesday, so I want to say like I'll be getting them like Wednesday night, something like that. So I was like, yo, wasn't really expecting this. And I was thinking about doing this, but then I was like, whatever. I'll just do my weekly breakdowns for WandaVision and keep it. But since I'm actually going to get it, I figured why not? I'm going to go ahead and give you guys my top predictions for WandaVision. And, I don't want to cheat or anything. So I wanted to do it before I actually got the actual screeners. Just kind of have some fun with it, right? So, with that said, please, I have no idea if this stuff is, going to be true or not. But that doesn't mean that some of it might not be right. Doesn't mean that some of it's going to be, of course, ridiculously wrong. So, spoiler alert, please don't come at me if I happen to get something right or whatever. Spoiler alert. If you want to go into WandaVision with nothing, that's fine. Stop watching this video. If you don't care about potential spoilers, if I'm right, then let's go, just kind of as a heads up, I'm basing these predictions strictly on the trailers on Marvel's YouTube channel, a lot of the interviews from the cast and Kevin Feige's announcements and stuff, and I'm just putting everything together. That's pretty much all I'm doing. Like, I don't have any inside sources. I don't know anyone in Marvel like that. I wish, but I don't. So I'm just going off of the trailers and I'm giving my best educated fan guess, right? So anyway, without further ado, let's jump into it. All right, so jumping off, I think we can start with like the easiest and probably the most obvious prediction, and that's going to be that this is going to be Agatha the Witch from the comics. For those of you that don't know, basically she was a witch in the Marvel comics. I believe she had her origins with like the Fantastic Four or something like that. She's been around since like forever, like 1,000 years or something crazy like that. But she is a witch that does, have a relationship in the comics with Scarlet Witch. And clearly that's going to be something that's going to be played up in WandaVision. My guess is that she's going to probably help Wanda learn magic or something. So, again, this is probably the most obvious thing. It's not the, most bold prediction. I'm going to save that for the end. But I just wanted to kind of throw that out there. At least, I need an easy one. I need an easy one in case I embarrass myself, with my bold predictions later. So, yes, I'm saying that's Agatha the Witch, and she is gonna help Wanda. I would say learn a different type of magic. I mean, one thing that we've learned is that whatever's going on with Wanda is probably some different type of magic, which I want to say Kevin Feige had said something like, we're going to dig deeper into Scarlet Witch and, the world of magic and stuff. And we've already seen like a different side of that with Doctor Strange. And, now maybe maybe she's bringing a different type of magic into it. I don't know. But there's clearly going to be some sort of mentorship. I don't know if she's going to be the villain, but she's clearly going to be Agatha the Witch, and she's going to have a deep connection with Scarlet Witch. All right, so everything that's happening in WandaVision is clearly Wanda's doing, right? That is the fact that I think that this is all part of her like mental breakdown in a sense, given all the stress. I mean, she's lost her brother, she's lost some of her family and people, in Sokovia, and then now she had to lose Vision, which she had to like kill, and then he got brought to life, and then he got killed again, that's some real traumatic stuff, right? So I think what we're going to see is, as Kevin Feige had mentioned, we're going to see another layer of Wanda's powers. And I think that's just what this is, right? Like everything that's going on that we see, with the whole creation and everything. This is kind of a spin-off from the comics, the House of M and everything, where Scarlet Witch was able to kind of like create her own reality. Well, we kind of actually saw this in Age of Ultron, where she was creating visions, which were kind of like alternate personal realities for people. And the crazy thing is, she was actually kind of predicting the future, because almost I want to say every single vision actually came true. So now in WandaVision, I think we're just really seeing basically the powers that she was doing to everybody in Age of Ultron, she's kind of doing it to herself. And while she's doing it to herself and creating like her own reality, while she was creating dreams for other people, she's creating a dream for herself. I think that is shown to us with that big red wall that we see in the trailer, because we've seen that like whenever her powers are being activated or whatever, they turn red. And when I saw that big wall that was clearly like being built up, I was like, okay, that seems like a force field or something, but it had to have come from Wanda, again, because Marvel likes to color code and match things or whatever. So I think that that's pretty much what's going on with her powers. She's the one creating this force field, and it's probably getting so big because, as we can see, every time she like expands her vision of these TV sitcoms, it's sucking in real life people. So every time she has these mental brain farts or whatever, like the people don't understand, because it's almost like everybody's in a trance. So I think that's what's going on. Clearly it's causing a big ruckus where Sword is coming in to come and like, I don't know, like handle the situation. But I would say that, when it comes to her powers and everything, yeah, this is clearly all Wanda's doing, and we're going to see how much her power actually can evolve, and it's not just going to be limited to her, moving things around like the telekinesis or whatever. Like she can really get down and dirty when it comes to like maybe a different form of magic. I don't know. But this also brings me to something else that was pretty interesting, and that's with Monica Rambeau. Now, Teyonah Parris was also saying not too long ago that in an interview that WandaVision was going to kind of serve as like an origin story for her, right? For Monica Rambeau. I think it's a little bit more than that. Now, I personally think that Monica Rambeau, because if you know in the comics, she was actually the first Captain Marvel, so she was, she had the name first or whatever, and she, it got passed on and she changed names and all that, but, she had superpowers and everything, and it was also announced, that she was going to be in Captain Marvel 2. Now, that is what got me thinking, because if you recall, she was the little girl in Captain Marvel. Clearly, she's grown up since 1995. And, I don't know exactly what her background is. Maybe she's working with Sword. I don't know. But my prediction is that I think she's going to get her powers in WandaVision. How? I think she's going to get her powers the same way Captain Marvel got her powers. The reason why I say this, and it's funny because when I did a prediction video for Captain Marvel, I predicted this was how she was going to get her powers. And I'm hoping Marvel is not that repetitive, but I want to say that they will be. There was this one scene in the trailer where you see Monica getting shot out of whatever this bubble is. And, she like turned to the camera or whatever. Look, I bet you it's gonna do something like with her eyes or something, maybe some lightning or whatever. Because in the comics, she had like a similar situation where she hit something and then all of a sudden like she got turned into a being of like pure energy or something like that. So, she had the ability to like shoot out energy, and I believe she went by like different comic book names. She went by different superhero names. It was Photon, Spectrum, and Pulsar. So I don't know which one she'll become in the MCU. I think it'd be Photon. That'd be my money if I had to guess. But I think that by going through that wall, that force field, it's going to be the same thing as like in the comics, and that's how she's just going to get her powers, because again, this is what happened in Captain Marvel. She had Captain Marvel, Brie Larson, she had an explosion dealing with the Infinity Stone, with the Tesseract, the Space Stone at the time, and the wave of energy like bonded with her body, and all of a sudden, she became Captain Marvel. I think something similar is going to happen here, because keep in mind, if it is true that all this stuff is happening because of Wanda's powers are a byproduct of the Mind Stone. If this is like a bigger extrapolation of her powers, I'm just saying, like, it's another Infinity Stone force field, and maybe that gives people powers. I mean, in the comic books, all you needed was a radioactive spill, spider bite, or explosion, and you had powers. So I'm just thinking to myself, like, in Marvel, everybody's getting power. I mean, they created Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch, with the radiation of the Mind Stone. That might actually be how they get mutants too. I don't know. But for this case, I think this is how Monica Rambeau is going to get her powers, by, when she gets ejected from that force field. I think she's going to absorb something. And, again, this is probably just going to be like a similar bonding thing to show the parallel of how she's similar to Captain Marvel, like Brie Larson's Captain Marvel. I don't know. But that's my guess. I think Marvel double dipped, and they going to do this again. Now, before I get to my bold prediction, I do want to throw one thing out there that kind of stuck out to me, but I can't really put my finger on what it is yet. So it's not going to count as a prediction, but man, like, I don't know, if I had more time or if I could think about it a little bit more, I could maybe come up with a theory or something. But it's actually with Vision. And I'm not talking about the Vision that was with Wanda, during all them scenes. I'm talking about the Vision that was dressed up as the old school Vision during the trick-or-treating or whatever. Something's off about that, because when he touched, the witch lady, and then like that yellow spark popped up and, kind of woke her up or whatever, it was odd. It was very odd. It doesn't feel right. Like, I don't know. If y'all have any ideas, let me know. But I mean, I don't really know what to do with that, so I can't give you like a real prediction for it. But something is up with that, and we just need to pay attention for it. That's all I can say. But anyway, my boldest prediction, I'm saying Doctor Strange is gonna show up. Why? Mainly because it ain't a really good secret. Kevin Feige has been saying for the longest that, Scarlet Witch was going to appear in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. And I'm sitting here thinking, like, okay, that's a very odd pairing. Like, why would you have her, in his movie? But then, a couple months later, they were saying, like, oh, yeah, but the MCU Disney Plus shows are going to tie directly into the movies and set them up. So I was like, okay, so if the shows are going to connect to the movies, then now something kind of makes sense. Now, I still didn't really understand what the connection was, between Scarlet Witch and Doctor Strange. But as the trailer started coming out, I kept hearing, a voice, and it was like, Wanda, can you hear me? Wanda, like, hello, Wanda. Like, somebody was trying to call her. And I'm like, yo, I bet you that's Doctor Strange. I bet you it's Doctor Strange, because you're talking about something with like all this magic and stuff going on. Why wouldn't you have the Sorcerer Supreme come and deal with this and be some help? Because clearly Sword ain't gonna know what to do. They just gonna be standing around, doing whatever and not being helpful. So the only logical person that could help at that point would be Doctor Strange. And again, that would be the right bridge right into Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, and on top of that, the main thing that kind of sold it for me was Paul Bettany. He was doing an interview recently, and he had said, like, oh, there's going to be an actor that's really going to surprise people. And I was like, man, That's it. That's it. You know what? It could be Loki too. But Loki's off doing other things. No, I'm going to go with Doctor Strange. I'm going to stick with Doctor Strange. So, yes, my final bold prediction is that Doctor Strange is going to pop up in WandaVision some way, somehow. I don't know. Matter of fact, he could be that faceless person or whatever, because, you know, Wanda be having all these magical brain farts or whatever, so she, you know, can't see people. Maybe she can't see Doctor Strange. Or it could just be Marvel playing around with us and, you know, blocking the face intentionally to keep it a surprise. So, look, I'm just saying, I think that's the case because, you know, you got the movie set up, you got the Disney Plus set up, you talk about actors gonna surprise us. That's my guess. Anyway, that's what I got for today. What do you guys think? Do you have any bold predictions for WandaVision? Please be sure to check in. I will be covering WandaVision every week. The first week, the first 2 episodes will drop. So, you know, just kind of, you know, brace for that. I will cover both episodes the first time for my first breakdown. And then after that, you know, we'll go week by week by week. So that's all I got for today. Thank you so much for joining me. I always appreciate it. If you're new to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I got more videos and reviews to do for you all. And until next time, I'll see you all later.